I'm devastated because I'm a senior. That was my life savings. Now I have absolutely nothing.
In the last 12 hours, she's had offers of legal help, cash, and rent money as Toronto rallies around the woman who lost her life savings to a real estate agent. CBC Toronto brought you her story this morning, and Toronto the Good has been stepping up ever since. Let's bring in John Lancaster now, who broke this story today. And John, your inbox is full and your phone's ringing off the hook.
I have a lot of replies to make this afternoon after the show, Dwight, all because this woman lost her money to an agent. She says, "I've never seen anything like this from Torontonians." This is the new high-rise near Bloor and Islington that was supposed to be Rita Fulcinitti's home. She put down a $42,000 deposit and had another $95,000 set aside for closing the deal. Instead, she's now homeless.
After all the hard work I did throughout my life to save that money up, I don't have a cent to my name.
She says she trusted Toronto real estate agent Howard Smilovich when he asked to borrow her $95,000. Smilovich and a company he controls signed an agreement promising to repay her with 12% interest and a $5,000 bonus. But when it was time to close the condo deal, Fulcinitti hadn't received a penny. To make matters worse, that deposit was forfeited as a penalty for not closing the deal.
I lost the $42,000, the $100,000 that he took from me, so I'm nowhere, like in a shelter. That's the only place I am right now.
When contacted by CBC Toronto, Smilovich admitted he borrowed the $95,000, invested in a nightclub, and quickly lost it all. He says he didn't keep any of it. He hasn't repaid the money, he says, because Fulcinitti has been verbally abusive to him, and her constant complaints to his real estate office got him fired, and now he says he has no money. Smilovich started working for Reg Fleming at Remax First Choice near Yonge and Steeles after he borrowed the money. Fleming says when Rita and another person who also claimed Smilovich owed the money began calling him, he fired Smilovich.
Fundamentally, we didn't want him around the office anymore because, our office depends on our reputation, and we don't want to have a bad reputation.
Fleming's office is now crowdfunding financial help for Fulcinitti. As for Smilovich, he declined an on-camera interview with CBC Toronto. Over the phone, he tells me, "It's not my fault the woman is homeless," and suggests he may start paying her back $1,000 a month if she gets a lawyer to work out the details. Our investigation revealed Smilovich doesn't have any assets in his name apart from a car. We did find out his wife owns several properties in Toronto, including two condos that were purchased in the last few months, one in Boca Raton, Florida, the other on Bathurst near Steeles. I asked Smilovich if he would borrow any of that money from his wife or ask her to sell one of those condos so he could pay Fulcinitti back. He told me it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, they have a signed agreement. Why does she need a lawyer now? John, since you brought this story to the public's attention, it has provoked so much reaction.
Yeah, it's quite amazing. We went back to read it today with some of these offers. I heard from people as far east as PEI, as far west as Victoria, complete strangers. One woman said she doesn't have any money, but she'd gladly open her home to Rita. So we went back to Rita, but first off, one of the big offers of assistance came from Jack Ben Simon, a Toronto lawyer. Listen to what he's going to do to help.
We're going to get some lawyers together and also a forensic accountant, because really this is about the money trail, where the money went. Rita needs somebody who's going to be an advocate for her and someone who understands the nooks and crannies of the system.
It's great. I really appreciate everybody's help. So it's going to be a Merry Christmas. I feel better than I have the last 14 months because I haven't seen a cent from this guy, which really upset me because I had to end up in a shelter.
Here at CBC Toronto, we're going to be watching this story like a hawk, and we'll bring you any updates over the next coming days and weeks as all of this plays out. Dwight.
Just a heartbreaking story, especially around this time of year. Thank you for that, John. All right, now Rita reached out to us for help. If you have a story you'd like us to look into or a news tip for us to investigate, just get in touch. Email us at torontotips@cbc.ca. And a major development this afternoon for a woman who says she lost her life savings after lending money to a Toronto real estate agent. She says instead of moving into the condo she hoped to buy, she's now homeless. John Lancaster broke this story for us, and he joins us now with an update, John.
Well, Dwight, the big news is it appears Rita Fulciniti will get back her money after all. She lent about $100,000 to a Toronto real estate agent. The deal was the money would be repaid with interest before her condo deal was set to close. But it turned out she didn't get her money back. And when it came time to close that condo deal, she couldn't. She also had to forfeit her $42,000 deposit to the developer as a penalty for not closing. Today, Toronto real estate agent Howard Smilovich said he will repay the money. In fact, his wife dropped off a $5,000 bank draft to Rita's real estate lawyer today, and she is promising to pay back another $90,000 in March. She just sold a condo she owns and will use that money to make the payments. She wasn't involved in the loan, but is repaying the money on behalf of her husband. Howard Smilovich says he doesn't have any money to pay it back himself. He's lost Rita's money on a bad investment, he says, and also lost his job. He said the public outcry over all of this has been devastating to his family, and they never kept any of Rita's money. Rita, who has her own personal issues, now hopes to be out of a woman's shelter very soon, Dwight.
All right, John, thank you for that. It seems the attention this story brought and the outcry has led to some good news for Rita.
Let's hope so.
All right, thank you, John.